Stephen Udaly here. We're troubleshooting a couple of Electro-Voice microphones, an D267 and a PL88. Both are in non-working condition. We're going to figure out exactly why that is. I've already taken them apart, so let's have a look at what I found inside. Here's the PL88. My method was pretty much starting at the bottom and working my way up. I first just wanted to check continuity between the leads that connected to the capsule, which have already been disconnected, and the leads at the bottom of the microphone. Of course, this is a switched model, the PL88L, so I also checked the switch in both positions. Now, I was not getting anything on the positive side between the capsule. I was getting positive continuity between the switch and the connector, but not between the capsule and the switch, or the capsule and the connector. So, I pulled the capsule out. Here it is. Of course, the foam has seen better days on this thing. But here we are. And everything appeared to be good at first sight, but of course, that's often misleading. I checked continuity between where the body wires connect to the bottom of the capsule and then the top of the capsule, so the wire runs through there. No continuity on the positive wire. So I started kind of looking at this. Of course, again, like I said, at first sight you can't really see any issues, but I got a little crafty here, or not crafty, more curious. Pulled this back, and what do you know? Sorry, trying to do this with one hand. What do you know? Disconnect. So, the positive wire had simply broken, so that just needs to be soldered back together. Solder the body leads back to the bottom of the capsule, and we'll be good to go, hopefully. That's the idea anyway. So, we think problem's found. Next step, repairing. But now here we are, we're going to take a look at the D267 that I have that is currently not functioning. Well, as you can see, it really is not functioning in this state. Alright, so again, just like I did with the PL88, I started at the bottom and kind of worked my way up. I pulled the XLR connector down, and the leads were still attached to it at that time. I checked continuity between where the lead connected and the XLR pin itself. I did that for both the positive and the negative. And that was all good. Okay, the ground on this one, it seems it grounds directly to the body through the screw that holds this in place. Okay, anyway, so we're good there. This little circuit here is in good shape. So, work my way up. This capsule was a real pain to get out because a lot of parts to it were glued. So, here we go. Whenever I pulled it out, it kind of came out real quick, and it was real hard at first and then came out real quick, which disconnected these leads from this. So, those will need to be resoldered. Not a big deal. Alright, so I checked continuity between the end of this wire and where it connects to the capsule, or the outside of the capsule anyway, and I was good for both positive and negative. Alright, so that's interesting. That leads me to believe that something is going on with where it connects to our voice coil. Alright, and then I looked and I found this little guy, and you can kind of see it. It's just a soldered lead that's just floating around on here. Trying not to damage this at all. But yeah, it's just floating around loose. So, I would say that our voice coil has lost its connection from where the lead enters the diaphragm. So, on this one, I'm not exactly sure how to go about repairing it because it's kind of hard to see. There's really no indication of where it connects into the coil. So, this one's going to require a little research, maybe some tips from anybody who's more experienced. Not a big deal. I picked this microphone up for $10 knowing it was not working. Kind of figured it was time for an experiment. So here we are. Experiment. Alright, so that's the D267, currently in not working condition, getting a little closer to figuring out what's the problem. And of course, back to the PL88, the issue on it was a broken positive lead right there. Yep, there it is. See it? Okay, so once again, this is Stephen Udaly. This is my first venture into microphone repair, starting with a couple of I guess, somewhat classic. I don't know. The PL88 is nice and old and gray, and this 267, a nice cheap find, but we'll see if we can fix it and put it to use.